Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of how to build siege weapons in WvW. Pretty much I made a real quick 10-minute video where we're going to show you guys how to build everything, how to build pretty much siege weapons in WW. So if a lot of you guys haven't got into it, or it seems kind of like it's too much, or it might be too much, there's a quick video just to show you guys how simple and how easy it really is. Like, it's really a lot more simpler than what I thought it was going to be. For a while I was kind of just trying to do other things because I thought it was going to be too much, but once me and Mouse got into it and we started building stuff, I was amazed at how easy it was to actually do stuff. So right here I'm getting to a siege master. You click on the siege master, it tells you the different type of blueprints that they have. So pretty much you have to buy the blueprints for a certain amount of money. Once you buy the blueprints, you need supply to build them. And the way that works is that you go to a supply depot or from any of the areas in the same place, and you get other players to pick up supply in their inventory. It doesn't go to their inventory, but they hold it. Players can hold up to 10 supply. So if you're building something like a golem that requires 100 supply, you would need 10 players. If you were like attacking a base and wanting to build it right there, you need 10 players to click on it, and then it'll start building up the process. Now, if you're close to a supply depot, you can just run back and forth and just build it up really, really fast. So definitely very easy, very streamlined, very cool. The different type of siege weapons there are, there's an arrow cart, ballista, catapult, flame ram, siege golem, and trebuchet. Now the siege golem is the only one that's movable. All of the rest of them, they're stationary. So wherever you build them, you're pretty much gonna want to build them to where you're gonna use it. So now I'm fast forwarding the video just to take you guys to where we actually went when we started to build it. So right now we're just going through the process of buying the different blueprints and heading to a supply depot that we're looking for the nearest one to us. So as you can see the map, well, we started heading north, me and Mouse that is. But while we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the different things that you can do. Well, actually I'll hold it off for a little bit. Right here's the supply depot, so you click on that, you get your little 10 supply. I was checking my inventory to see if it was an inventory item, but it wasn't. And then pretty much you go into your blueprint, and then a box is gonna appear. So you're gonna see Mouse holding a box here in about a couple seconds as soon as the video slows down. Right here. So now he has that box, and that's one of the blueprints that he's about to build. So you're gonna see him momentarily throw it on the ground, and then this big like building station appears, which is pretty cool. And you can actually see the station being built little by little as you put 10 supply into it, 10 supply into it, 10 supply into it. But while that's happening, I want to go ahead and talk about the different abilities that each of these siege weapons do. So arrow carts, they fire volleys of arrows dealing significant damage to players but weak against structures. Ballistas, they fire a giant bolt dealing heavy damage to structures and players in its path. Capulet, great for dealing with walls, gates, and clustered enemies. Flame ram rams gates at close range, dealing heavy damage to it. And then siege golem, slow and short range but capable of dealing significant damage. Trebuchet, long range rocket thrower capable of dealing significant damage to players and structures alike. So that's pretty much all the siege weapons that are in the game at the moment at WW, at least the ones that you build. There's also other type of siege weapons for defending, like throwing oil over the gate and things of that nature. But right now we're talking about this one. So you can see I'm just pretty much grabbing the supply, coming back here, using my little hammer and building up the golem. And you can start to see that you'll start to see like a little picture of him starting to build up as we're going through it. So now that's like the building process right there, or like the pre-example of what it's gonna be once you're done. So me and Mouse, we're just going again back and forth, getting 10 supply from the depot, and then coming back over here. And you can see in the top right, it says supply and depot 50 out of 100 because we keep taking it out. But the caravan, I believe, is replenishing the supply depot as we're taking it. So if you just wait a little bit, it'll build back up. Now when you're in times of war, which is pretty cool, and let's say enemies are hitting up your supply depot or causing rifts in the lines, and then that's when it can become a lot more difficult. And that's where it's very, very interesting with the strategy of WvW, because it's not just, you know, you have an unlimited amount of resources and an unlimited amount of things to do. Like, things run out, you get short. It's like real war. Like, if you're at war and someone cuts off your supply, you're stuck. You can't rebuild the wall. You can't give food to everyone. So that's a really, really cool aspect. So here's the golem. Now that we're done, this is what it looks like. Definitely very cool. So I got inside. I wanted to show off the different abilities that it does. So number one is like a basic punch. Number two is a whirling assault, which is like a spin, and it does knockback. Number three is a shield bubble, which it blocks projectiles. Number four is to launch the suit first to pull an enemy to you. So you can tell this is kind of like your infantry. So like if you're doing WW, you want to have some golems up in the front, kind of just like taking all the damage and dealing a lot of damage, and then everybody else behind them just attacking. And that's why they call it a siege weapon. And then number five was to escape. And now the golems, they are interchangeable. So if I build a golem, and let's say I spend a whole bunch of money, build a golem, and I just leave it there, anyone can just jump into it and start using it. Which I thought was a little bit weird at first, but it does make sense if when you're like in the bigger aspect of things. And then now we're building another weapon, which I believe is the flame ram, and just doing the same thing, going back to the depot, coming back. Mouse is laying more things in the background, more blueprints that we wanted to build. So we just pretty much started building everything just to see how it was, what it looks, to show you guys exactly the way it is when you're building it. Now again, most of these you're gonna want to be building them right in front of a gate, a little bit outside of a gate, down the steps or whatnot, just in the proper place so you can use them, because like I said, they're not mobile. You have to build them where you're going to use them and it within the range. So there's a lot of tactics with this and what you want to build, what you want to use, what works the best. So right now there's some NPCs attacking our town, so I got in a golem. You can see how slow it is. So if you build this like where you spawn or at your supply post and you're trying to walk to where the war is at, it becomes very, very difficult. Like literally it would probably take me a half an hour to an hour to get to where I need to if we were fighting at the moment. So it's not practical to build it by the supply post. It's definitely something that you want to build a little bit closer to where the war is going on. And so right now we got about 4 blueprints up, building stations, and we're just building different things. And Mouse is working on the flame ram, which again, the flame ram rams gates at close range, dealing heavy damage to it. So you pretty much click a button and it shoots like fire to the side of it, and it does like really cool, like Roman style, like Roman. It reminds me of like Roman style type things. So as you can see, he jumped into the golem. I can jump into the golem. We disband our group just to check to see if everyone can share it, and just going through it. So very, very cool, very interesting stuff. Now what he did was he actually bought gems and traded them for gold, and then took the gold and bought all the blueprints. I'm not sure how expensive this is relative to the economy, but for someone just starting, of course I couldn't really buy anything because I didn't have any money and I didn't level much. As you go up, that's pretty much to be determined, but it looks like the way WvW is, it gives us a lot to do at endgame. So if you have that plethora of gold and you have all that money at the end and you have nothing to do, it looks like WvW is going to be the place where you come in and you spend that money and you buy weapons and you build keeps and you play with walls and you do all different type of things. It's like there's a lot of money to be spent here. So it seems like that's where a lot of the endgame gold is going to go through, which sounds like a good idea. So instead of having players with like millions of gold and this and that, you know, they actually have somewhere to spend it. So right there was the fire ability that I just did. Thank you for watching this example of building siege weapons, and I have a lot of great videos on my channel. Please subscribe. I should have a ton more videos coming out from the beta week in 3, and thank you very much for watching.